Update 2. My 28 girlfriend, 29, moved in and quit her job. Well, last time I was here my girlfriend had to quit her job, but had said she would still be able to pay rent with her residual income. The time came, and she was late, and only paid a third of what she needed to. Well, I can't move right now. Luckily my name is primary on the lease, and she is legally subletting with me. I went over a new lease agreement, and it has a weekly amount she has to pay me to catch up on rent and continue paying rent. If she breaches this contract in accordance with my state law, she will be evicted. She refuses to talk to me. She refuses to leave her room. I told her that I don't hate her and I still deeply care about her, but she has to pay or else she has to leave and I'll find someone else to rent the second bedroom. The place we rented have rooms for each of us so that we could have a private space as well as time with each other. If she's not able to pay, I'm planning on affecting her and finding someone else to rent. My heart is broken with the planning this for over a year, and I know she's depressed, but she could go back to work tomorrow and make double what I do a day. With a career she's in, she could still go back to work even after having quit. I loved her so much, and we had built detailed and amazing plans together, but she's just stopped moving. I know she's depressed, but I don't know what to do for her. I've tried talking to her, I've tried offering to help her, I've offered to take her to a doctor, I've told her that I'm there for her, but I can't do this for her. It's like she's just given up, and I love her, but this is not the agreement that we had together. If she was willing to go see a doctor, I would at least be able to work with her and find a way to make this work. But I can't support somebody who's sick and refuses to go see help. It's been a month and a half since she moved, and it's been a disaster. I feel like there should have been warning signs, but there wasn't. It's like a flip switched, and she's turned into a different person. I've lost my girlfriend. It's like she's dead, and there's this shell standing in front of me. I don't know what else to do. I've given her all I can afford to give emotionally and monetarily, and unless she's willing to help herself, I'm done. TLDR, girlfriend did not pay the rent she promised she would, and has severe depression. I've tried to help her, and I have no more to give. My F46, sons, 21, girlfriend, 20, got me something I know she can't afford, and I worry about her. My son and his girlfriend have been dating for over 2 years now. They go to the same college. She moved in with him in the midst of quarantine, but eventually went home. Her parents are horrible and practically kicked her out in the middle of the night. My son had to pull some strings to even get her a flight. For her birthday, I bought her a necklace. It was before quarantine, so I bought it overseas. It made me think of her. I care for her, and I wanted to. It was pretty, but I can afford it. I remember her face when I gave it to her. She looked terrified, like I pulled a gun on her. She kept looking at it, then at me. She stuttered so much before thanking me. Throughout our stay, I noticed her watching me several times. My son told me later that she is scared of me. After prying, I learned how bad her family actually is. For my birthday, she got me an expensive necklace. I know the brand, and there's no way she could afford it. She looked at me so scared and just asked if I liked it. I told her I did. She keeps watching me. Now, I worry about where she got the money. Her classes are all remote this semester. She can't decide whether she wants to be with my son or her family. She loves her younger siblings and has all but raised them. Then, her parents kick her out or threaten her. I worry so much about her at home. If she has money to take care of herself and her little siblings, I feel like she got me the necklace to pay me back, but she did not need to. I feel so guilty. Would I be a horrible person if I gave her some money, no questions asked? Or if I got her and her siblings expensive gifts she could sell or gift cards? I don't know if she would. She is not the type to ask for help. I remember my son on the phone for hours trying to find a hotel for her to stay at in the midst of quarantine after what her parents did. I want to make her a bank account or trust fund. I don't know how to do it. I also don't want to embarrass or cause her to fear me. My son says she looks up to me and wants to make me happy. I feel so guilty. I never should have gotten her that necklace when she has trouble feeding and clothing herself and the little ones. TLDR, I got my son's girlfriend an expensive necklace. She got me a similar one, but I worry about how she can afford it and take of herself and little siblings. I, 15M, broke my arm playing football. Mum, 38F, is upset. I ask my friends to get my other mum, 40F, who's a surgeon. 38F, left and is staying with friends. I have same-sex parents. I call them both mum, but for the purpose of this, I'll call them by their names. On Saturday I was hanging out with some friends. We decided to go to the footy field behind my house and kick the ball around. I took a bad fall and I broke my arm. I told one of my mates to run and get Cindy, Sirigan mom. Both Cindy and Jasmine came out and took me to the hospital Cindy works at. I ended up getting my arm seen too. And yeah, that's how it happened. Come Monday, the two of them started fighting. Jazz is upset that I asked my friends to get Cindy. Apparently my friends ignored her and went right to Cindy when they came to tell her. And it's just spiraled into this much bigger thing. And it got very ugly with a bunch of stuff I'm not privy to until then. I don't understand, because I've never favored one over the other. Jazz and I do plenty of shit together as she doesn't work as much as Cindy. So we often do a lot of stuff together. But the argument got so bad with Cindy last night that she left and is staying with friends. Unsure of what to do. TLDR mum got upset over an injury and left after a fight. My GF of 12 years has a crush on her coworker. I, 25M, have been dating my girlfriend Anna, 25F, since middle school. We are both each other's firsts by the way. We recently graduated from university, both with good career paths, and have been living together for 3 years. Anna started working July of this year and had a fairly rough start. She became friends with this older guy called William, 35M, who's been working there for 10 years and they kinda just hit it off as coworkers. They started texting each other a bit outside of work around September because he was having marriage problems and wanted someone to talk to. I really didn't mind it at first and thought it was nice of Anna to be supportive. But today, while trying to update a game on Anna's computer so we could play together, Messenger opened with the startup and I couldn't help myself to snoop a little. Apparently, for the past few weeks, she's been flirting with him, fairly explicitly. William even sent her a picture of his nude torso to show off his abs and Anna answering that she would jump on him next time they saw each other at work. The vibe I got was that it's just banter, but with some inappropriate connotations. When she got home from work today, I confronted her about it. She admitted that she has a crush on her coworker, but she never did anything physical. She never intended to and thought the flirting would just fizzle out after a bit. She told me that she's really sorry for what she did and that it was completely selfish of her to only think about herself during these events. I felt deeply hurt by all of this and packed my things. She tried really hard to stop me from leaving, but I just couldn't stay. I just can't believe she would disrespect the 12 years we've committed to each other for some flirting with a married man who has a wife and kid. It got really late and had nowhere to go, so I booked a room in a hotel near work. I couldn't bring myself to go back home to my parents because I know they'd never let me see her again if I told them what happened. A part of me really wants to give her a second chance and meet with her tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll be going back to a relationship that's already been soured. I don't know what I should do. Should I go back to my parents? Should I give Anna a second chance? Am I overreacting? Help. TLDR, GF of 12 years has a crush on her coworker and has been exchanging flirty texts. I pack my bags and left and don't know what to do anymore. Am I overreacting? Update so, 28M, of 9 years called off our wedding, implying we were over. Is this something I, 26F, could make work for us? TLDR he called off the big wedding because we were both stressed and originally wanted to elope. Can we work through it? No, we couldn't because he cheated. I found out this morning through anonymous Facebook message that he wasn't loyal and there was more to the breakup than I knew. I called him twice with no response. So I sent him a text about the message. Still no response. So I decided to check his phone records. Lo and behold, a mysterious number popped up like the day things started to go downhill for us. He'd call the number on nights I was working and texted throughout the day. Soon after I saw that I checked Find My iPhone. He got his first iPhone and I helped him set it up like 2 weeks ago. His GPS showed at a random house near downtown that I know none of his friends lived at. Soon after that he called me. He denied it all and was trying to be all supportive. The moment I said I had proof he was hiding things from his phone records, his entire demeanor changed. He specifically stated I didn't sleep with anyone, which was odd since I never brought up cheating. As he was talking I checked Find My iPhone again, and from the distance, it looked like he left wherever he was and called as soon as he was in the car. I asked where he was, and he said driving. I asked from where, and he got very defensive saying it wasn't my business since we weren't together. I reiterated I knew he was hiding things from me. I still never brought up accusations of cheating yet. He called me creepy and stalkerish. I asked who the specific phone number belonged to, and he refused to answer saying I was crazy. So I said I deserved to know, and he said a friend from work. For the next few minutes he refused to assign it gender pronouns. A little bit later I pushed it. It was a woman and he admitted it. So I asked who it was, and said if it were the few women I know, then I get maybe he was venting to them. He refused to answer. So yeah, we can't work it out. Also prior to this he was already acting like a hot and cold jerk for the week after he left me on the day of my bridal shower. Either acting like he didn't care one bit about me or that he wanted me back because his life was falling apart. Needless to say, I became more relieved that the relationship was over and was more mourning the fact I was in the position I was in, cancelling a wedding after a failed engagement. I realized he was very selfish and I took on every responsibility in wedding planning and our relationship while he had nothing to do but work and come home to play video games. For the record, I like video games, but only when I have the time. Basically this was the icing on the shit cake, and any bit I had left hanging on to the relationship went right out the window. I honestly feel relieved. I don't feel sad. I feel free and happy. I'm not sad being in the apartment we shared anymore. My sister had helped me 2 nights ago set up a new bed that helped change the entire look of the bedroom. Also Monday I'm going to a theme park with a coworker. While I'm not exactly trying to jump right into anything, he's a great guy and we have the same interests. It's just nice to have attention from someone I get along with. TLDR XV and K cheated. I moved on. Edit. Yes, I'm getting tested as soon as possible. Update me. 27 meters. With my wife. 29F. 4 years. I'm getting really fed up being the bottom of the list in my wife's life. Original post here. np.reddit.com relations heaps ormans 3 ugp underscore 27m underscore with underscore my underscore wife underscore 29f underscore 4 years underscore I'm underscore getting. Original post TLDR I'm at the bottom of the list for my wife and it's driving me nuts. Sorry, long. We finally had the conversation on Monday afternoon. It started with, as predicted, a wall of tears when I brought up our relationship, but following the advice I just kept going. I think I sat at the kitchen table for almost 5 hours in total until she finally gave in and sat down to talk without crying. There was a whole lot of resentment built up towards me which was why she couldn't face me and tried to keep me busy, so I did not have time or energy to focus on the relationship. She brought up a lot of things that I did wrong. The fact that I only work 5 hours a week and that's not fair. That I make her feel inadequate by doing everything so well while being ill as well. That I only eat real food and don't drink which is not fair on her. That I have a better relationship with her mom than she does. The fact that I'm really skinny and she has to battle with her weight. That I have a loving family and she doesn't. And that I'm not good at sex which really hurt as she is my one and only and I thought I was doing okay. None of that hurt as much as what she said right towards the end of a heated exchange when she blurted out that I should be dead by now. After I had a break and calmed down, I came back into the kitchen to face a diatribe where the long and short of it is she does want children badly. She doesn't want to be married to me because I'm stopping her having them and I'm sick which she is tired of and only went ahead with getting married knowing we couldn't because she thought I would have died by now. She then confessed, not sure that is the right word, more like blurted out angrily, that throughout our dating and engagement she had wanted to end it because she didn't want to marry a dying man, but could not face telling everyone because they would have thought she was callous. She said felt she was pressured into marrying me because I was sick. She had thought that I would not survive and when I died she could find someone else who could have kids. I was really upset, so I left to go to the den and stayed there for the rest of the night. I didn't sleep much, but thought we could work it through and we could find a way for her to have kids, even if I wasn't around. I'd even found some agencies that would consider IVF for us given my family would definitely be there for the long haul even if I wasn't. In the morning I made breakfast and waited. She surfaced at about 9 and so I sat her down at the kitchen table and I calmly told what I was thinking about, asked her what she wanted to do. Again I got a wall of tears, but waited them out. Then I got a really angry response which made no sense. She said she might not be able to have children anyway, so we should stay together until I die, and that it was my fault she wouldn't be able to have kids. I knew there was a possibility that conceiving could be difficult for her as she'd had a really bad gynecological infection a few months after my last chemo round. We argued about this for ages, that she couldn't know until she tried, that her position did not make sense. She argues against IVF as an option saying it was too difficult for her, that if she really wanted kids naturally then it would be best to split and to find someone who could give her that. Over the space of an hour, it became clear that the infection was not something simple as I had thought. I could not understand how an infection could make you infertile, and kept asking what it was. She was really evasive, until I made her tell that the infection was chlamydia. Although she didn't say it out loud, just cried when I asked, was the result of an affair. When I realized what she had finally not said through the tears I left, didn't say anymore, just collected the dogs from the yard, piled into my landy, and went to my brother's. I spent most of the day in bed crying until my brother got me on Skype with my big C's and mum who were great and really practical. Then I went over to my C's place to exercise the dogs with her, and that made me feel a little better. So since yesterday I've had 100 plus ignored calls and texts from her, and she's tried to call my brothers, parents, and sisters. Their mom has called 10 plus times. My brother has texted her and her mom to leave me alone and that I'll be in touch when I figure it out. She showed up at his house while I was at my sister's, but he sent her away. For me it's the end. I don't want be with someone who has had an affair, who doesn't like me, who resents what they have given up because of me, who lies, who tells me I'm the one and only partner she's ever had, who is emotionally weak, who the fuck gets married because they don't want to seem callous. I've wasted the past 4 years on her. Fuck. Plan for the rest of today is to pick up my big sis who is flying in from DC with her wife and go with them to see a lawyer they know, pick over how to get out of this mess quickly. She's not a divorce lawyer herself but her firm drew up the prenup, so it will be good to have her around. Then she, my brother and sister, and various spouses and friends are going over to the house to collect my things and clear my denoffice. I'll give my soon to be ex about 14 hours notice we are coming over, but I won't go in and I can stay in van if she's there. I'm gonna be moving into mum and dad's old house with my sister for a while. There's loads of space and the dogs will love it. For info I'm pretty sure I'm clean of stees because we didn't have sex during that time and I have my bloods done every month, but have booked in for extra tests on Thursday. An infection could have killed me, but perhaps this was her plans all the way along. TLDR, she didn't want to marry me, but anyway because she thought I wouldn't last too long, and when I was last ill she had an affair. It's over. Edit. It's stupid o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep anymore, so I came here just to answer a few of the common and not so common but relevant theme in the PMs and comments. Infidelity. As my lawyer pointed out, I cannot be sure that she had an affair. I made the presumption based on her tears and refusal to answer. She has denied saying that she did in an email to my brother. Chlamydia. It is possible that she had the infection from prior to our relationship, although she had told me that I was the only one she had ever had sex with, so there's a line there somewhere. This could explain that the infection did so much damage that she had it for 4 to 5 years. Infection and our sex life. We did not have unprotected sex before she was diagnosed. The advice we had was to use a barrier method to ensure that she was not exposed to chemical toxins in my body. I got really ill a few months after we got married, so it dried up, and she had had treatment by the time we went on our honeymoon about a year later. Our sex life after that was really very good, or at least I thought so, up until about 5 months ago when a lot of things about us went off the rails. Money. Turns out it really doesn't matter much. The house is on a lease because I couldn't get a mortgage as I'm such a bad risk health-wise. It's in my name, so we'll issue a termination and let it lapse. She can take it up anyways. Currently, most of my income is taken with medical bills, so even if she tries to get alimony then there is nothing to share. As for pre-existing moaners, that pretty much safe with almost no option to challenge. I've changed my will already to exclude her, and yes she did get everything, but I don't think that was a motivation. Is she a monster? I don't think so. Right now I hate the thought of her, but I can see how she got into the situation where she married me thinking that it wouldn't last forever, and how she could have felt trapped into the wedding. I don't think she married me with the thought of getting rich. I just think she didn't actually think it through properly. She did turn out to be a shit though. Do it still love her? Of course I do. She was my rock during some really dark periods in my life. I wanted to die in her arms. We had so much fun together. I watched a video earlier of us playing air hockey, me in a big coat with bare legs as I only had a hospital gown on underneath, her looking amazing lovely. We were so happy. Notwithstanding all of that, I do think we would not have made it in the long term, even if I had been healthy all along. My mum thought I only stayed with her because it was the easy thing to do, and I'd had enough shit in my life though until last night. She had never told me that. Well, I'll let her tell her side of the story. She can say what she wants to whomever she wants except me. I'm done and only need good things in my life.